For the last few years, he was at West Virginia. Prior to that, he's recognized as one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. He's also been one of the most creative offensive coaches in the country. For the last few years, you guys have watched him on television. They have been one of the top 2 offenses in the country 2 years in a row, either number 1 or number 2. This last year, they had a slew of injuries and fell to like number 35 or something, which most guys would give their left nut to be 35th in the nation in offense. At Tulsa, that was a slap. But he's a hell of a football coach. He's been doing our stuff now for a couple of years, coming to our seminars. They do a lot of unique, different stuff. If you haven't watched his run game stuff and play action stuff, it's on Team Highway still. You need to go on and watch it. We've got lots of great testimonials from that. The game planning stuff, if you want to know how to really truly game plan, don't listen to me, listen to him. I mean, his stuff on the game planning deal was phenomenal, what he did this past summer, really good stuff. So anyway, I asked Herb to speak on something that I've never heard at a clinic before. I watched Tulsa on TV and I see more trick plays than anybody in mankind. I listened to Herb last year, talked a little bit about it, and so I asked him to come and do a seminar strictly on trick plays. So give Herb a big round of applause and we'll get started here.
Tony gave me a hard time about that thing we did last summer. You know, what he didn't tell you is that he almost had to send that check to my wife at my funeral because of the plane ride we took down there. Had a little private plane set up, you know, and so the first plane, this is where you know you're in trouble when you say the first plane you were on. The first plane I was going to get down there, we took off. There was 5 coaches coming down with me, because this was kind of taking place during the Texas High School Coaches Association meeting, so we were all going to go down there and hang out. So there's 5 coaches on this plane. Well, we take off, and I'm sitting across from one of them reading the paper. It's a little private plane, and I said, we're not getting much altitude after we've been up in the air for a while. And the guy sitting across from me said, this is on a Sunday morning. He said, I think there's something wrong. So you know, everybody's a little bit nervous because what happened was the landing gear would not come up. Now that's better than the landing gear not going down, you know. But the landing gear wouldn't come up, and the guy had jammed on the gear a couple times to get it up, and couldn't get the thing to come up. So he had to turn around, and as we're turning around, the alternator light on the plane started coming on and off, and so we landed. There was 5 of us that were supposed to come down, or myself and 5 other coaches, and 4 of those sons of bitches said, hell with that. Once they're on the ground, they went to church. You know what I mean? I think 3 went to church and 1 went to the casino. Okay? So anyway, so we wound up getting in a Buddy Holly plane, me and another coach. And I was the co-pilot, believe it or not. And I got up in the air and the pilot said, hey, you want to learn how to fly this thing? I said, well, I better. I mean, shit, what happens sometimes to you? So anyway, the other guy that I was with, I never told you this, Tony, but on the way back, the other guy that came down there with us, our tight ends coach at the time, he's now the offensive line coach at Appalachian State. And so he's in the back of the plane. He had taken some Dramamine, and he fallen asleep. So we're flying back. We're at like, I don't know, 8,000 or 10,000 feet, a little tiny plane. And after I got down there, I felt pretty good about my flying ability. So I said to the pilot, I said, hey, can I wake this son of a bitch up? So he said, sure. So I grabbed a hold of the deal and I went, and I'm doing all this stuff with the plane. Well, he came up out of that seat screaming, like, you know, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? He looks out the window, and so we're all over the place. And so anyway, so that was an interesting trip, but that's why, you know, Tony felt like he had to pay me a little extra on that trip, I suppose, because of my adventure getting down there. What I want to do is just go talk. I called this smoke and mirrors because one time we were getting ready to play, and I can't remember who it was. It was I want to say it was Rice. I'm not sure who it was. At Rice, you know, they do a lot of funky stuff too, but their coach was on TV. You know, they had the camera in there in pregame. I think it was Rice, and they were in there, and he said something to the effect of, you know, this smoke and mirrors. Don't get fooled by the smoke and mirrors. Well, you know, when you're coaching, you're like, well, we run the inside zone and the power. There ain't nothing smoke and mirrors about that. You know, that's you kind of burrow up to that. You know what I mean? But when you look at what we do a lot of smoke and mirrors. So it was something that we kind of laughed at. You know, saying that, you know, we're a power football team, which we do. We run a lot of downhill runs, play action pass, like Tony was saying. But we do have a lot of gadgets and trick plays in our offense. So what I just want to talk to you guys about today, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the PowerPoint. I got a lot of film to go over, but developing tricks within your system. The first thing is to build plays that fit what you do, that counter off of what you do, okay? And I know that sounds kind of simple, but you don't know how many, and the first thing I'm going to show you is something that we saw was happening to us on the backside of another play, and we said, well, we got to take advantage of that. So we wanted to build a trick play into something that we already did. Okay, so it looks exactly like one of the other plays, and then there's a trick off, there's some kind of counter off, and I know Tony mentioned that on those screens and having a gadget off the screen. Okay, so how can I install some kind of gadget off a base play? This is the thing that I think is the most important thing about it, is that you can be as creative as you want, just as long as you're fundamentally sound in your protection and your blocking scheme. Okay, because you don't want to put yourself at risk, even though there's a calculated risk that goes along with running trick plays, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can have something devastating happen to you because you're not being fundamentally sound, because you're just doing something stupid. And I think in every offensive staff room, okay, every staff room that you have, there should be a sign right above the table, right? You put it right up over here that says "Fight Boredom." Okay, because we all get in there, and then you get the markers out, and you get the pens out, and everybody starts drawing shit up. And next thing you know, you got some hodgepodge stuff, and you want to make sure you don't do that either. Okay, so don't put yourself in a thing where you're being stupid. Okay, but so in order to do that, you need to be fundamentally sound in protecting the football, and also the scheme that you're asking your kids to execute. That's why we try to do as much stuff off of things that we already do. So there's not a lot of new learning. Okay. The next thing is I believe in this, running it from the start. You go back to our spring practice. First day of spring practice this year, we installed the inside zone. Okay, and we run the split zone and all that stuff. Well, the other thing we put in that day, the first day, was a split zone flea flicker. Okay, we hand the ball off, he pitches it back to the quarterback, and we're throwing the ball to our slot receiver when the safeties are coming down to fit the zone. And the defensive coordinator looks at you and he goes, "Are you serious? It's the first day of freaking practice and you're in the flea flicker?" Yeah, that's how we do it. Okay, that's just how, you know what I mean? And we just finished up spring practice yesterday, and it's a good thing I got out of town, because no matter how good of friends you are with defensive coaches, during spring practice, you hate all those motherfuckers. I'm just not lying to you. You just can't stand those guys. You want to choke them. So anyway, we run it from the start. And here's what I would tell you too, is that we may practice a trick play for 6 weeks before we actually run it in a game. Because when we go into a game, we'll get into how we plan them here in a second, but we have specific things that we're looking for when we're going to call it. What's the situation we're going to call it in? What's the field position we're going to call it in? Okay, we may not get that exact situation until you're 6 weeks into the season. But by that time, we've repped that play over and over and over again. And we go into every Wednesday practice, every Thursday practice, we call our specials period. So we're going to carry 6 or 7 specials into every game. And when we get into the right situations where we plan that play, if that happens to happen during that game, we're going to call it. Okay? So again, we want to start practicing that specials from day one. Okay? And then and as you go, repetition breeds confidence with your players. Not only in you as a play caller and calling the thing, but also in your players knowing that it can be successful. Okay? And we sell them on that. I'll show you the play here later on. We played Boise this year. We ran a split zone halfback option pass. It was really our wide receiver throwing in. I'll show you how we set it up. But in essence, it was a split zone read halfback option pass. Okay, and we told our guys, if we get the ball on a sudden change situation and the ball's on the left hash and we're near the 50-yard line, we're running this play and it's going to be a touchdown. And it was. So as they get confidence in it, you get confidence in it, but you start practicing that from day one. And the last thing here, believe in the play and call it. Okay? It's one thing that, you can't, if you're second guessing yourself on all that stuff, you got to have some balls sometimes and just say, let's run it. And there's some things in here that I'm going to show you, you're going to go, holy cow. How do you call that? Well, sometimes you just got to have the balls to do it, and your kids will like it. They like running this stuff, okay? But we try to decide before kickoff when we're going to call it, where we're at on the field when we're going to call it, and then there's no second guessing it. Okay, we just roll with it. All right. Some of the situations that we'll look at on when and where we want to call a play. It might be a sudden change situation like I was mentioning. You got the DVR. It might be after a big play. I'll show you a couple on here where we said, look, if we hit them with a big play and the ball's on the left hash, for instance, I don't care. We had one time, and I'll show you the exact play on here. We were playing UAB. We hit them with a 35-yard seam route from the -2. And then the next play, we run a trick play. It goes for 70 yards. And we were, that probably doesn't add up right. But whatever, it was a 70-yard deal. We probably hit about a 20-yard seam route, and then we hit a 70-yard run on them. We had the ball first and goal on a 3, and we flipped the field like that. Because we said during the week, if we hit a big play on these guys, we're running this. Okay, and our kids believed it, and we went and got it done. Okay, now, let's pull up some film. Okay, the first thing we got on here, and I don't know what the Federation rules are as far as if a guy jumps off sides. Do they stop the play immediately? They do. So as soon as the defender enters the neutral zone, they stop the play? Okay, well, this is a play that we run off our freeze deal. Now, here's what I would tell you. Okay, we run the freeze play, where we give them a hard count, and if they jump, we snap the ball, and we know we got a free play, and we're going to try to take a shot. Okay, we always roll our quarterback to the right. Okay, our linemen don't move, and it looks kind of goofy. Look, right? I want it, and here's what they do. I tell them, I say, you do not move. You get knocked on your ass, whatever position you land on, that's what you stay in until the quarterback tells you you can move. So they have a key word. We'll go in practice, and we'll reinstall this concept. We'll be in practice, and somebody will jump, and they'll be standing there in their stance, and I'll run up behind some freshman and yell at him, get, what are you doing? And he'll move, and then I'll rip his ass even worse for moving. Because I want him to be disciplined and say, you're not going to move if the ball's snapped. Okay, so sometimes it looks like a bomb went off. Right? There's bodies laying all over the place. Just laying there. Okay? We got a free play. Okay, so we want to take a shot with it on a free play, but most of the time when a guy hits him like that, they'll call him and say, hey, you dickhead, you're off sides. He said it wasn't complete. So the quarterback comes over and he says, hey, chill, and that tells them they can move. So as we go through, there's a couple of clips of this, you'll see they just sit there. All right, we're taking a shot here. All right. Now again, we roll to the right every time. All right. Same thing here. Bang. There's a body of this. Laying there. Okay. Okay. Now, here's what we did off it. We were in spring ball, and we had run this. We ran the freeze play so many times against our defense that one day we're watching film, and this is when Gus and Malzahn and I were there, and I said, Gus, what if we just threw a throwback screen off of this freeze? Okay. So we do it to our defense in the spring game. So all spring long, they're chasing our quarterback. Every time we snap the ball, they roll to the right, they're chasing the quarterback. So we get in the spring game, roll to the right, throw back screen, and we're like, hey, stick it in your ass, you know what I mean? Okay? So this is the first time we ran it in the game. All right? We have a call that we just tell them, look, if we go out there and they jump, we're running the throwback. So now we call it elephants on parade back here, and we just throw the ball back over to the running back. He makes a call and they go. They don't go until that end clears the running back. And he says, go, 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 and we go. Now, here's what I'll tell you about Tulane. We ran this on Tulane. This is the first year we were at Tulsa. We ran this play. later on in the season, we're watching Tulane play, I think it was UTEP, okay? They got the ball on the left hash, about the 35-yard line going in, and I don't know if their quarterback hard counted or not. Nobody on UTEP's team jumped offside, so you can get away with this with your deals, okay? Nobody jumped. They snapped the ball. The lineman did not move. Quarterback rolled to his right. All the UTEP guys chased him. He threw it back over their head, and they went for about 30 yards. Because the lineman didn't move, the defensive lineman didn't know what to do. So they just start chasing the quarterback. And the line just sits there until the back clears, and then they roll. Okay, you see it again here. And we do that on every different formation. We just go, we went into this game, this is like, I think this is the first series of the game. This is a third down. It's third down and 10. It's probably the second series of the game. Okay, third down and 10. We go out there, we run the freeze. We're trying to get a look at what the defense is in, make a good third down call. We told our guys if they jump, we're running to go. Okay, and we run the throwback screen to them off that deal. It looks kind of weird, but it's all, again, but the freeze play concept for us is something we do throughout the course of the game. So this was built in off of that. All right, it's just a free play. We know we're going to have and here's the other thing that's funny about that. We played UTEP later on this year, and we ran the freeze, and we had the go call on, and so we're beating them unmercifully that night. It was 28-28 at the end of the first quarter, okay, and we wound up winning 77-35, and it was like, I don't know, it was midway through the third quarter, we're up by like 30 points, and we run the freeze with the go, and their guy peels with our back as our back tries to run the throwback screen. Their guy peels at the back, and their coaches went crazy on the sideline. Like, good job! You guys stopped the trick play. You know what I mean? They didn't stop anything else, but they stopped that freaking trick play. Okay? So, we got it again here. I'll just flip through these deals. Jump, they get them to jump, bang, bang, throw it back. Okay? Now, so that's the first thing. Now this one here, this is our tight end high play. Okay? And I actually got, if you guys ever get on Football Scoop, okay, this play was highlighted on Football Scoop. It said that, said some little blurb on there about all defensive coordinators are telling their GAs to try to run this play on them in games throughout the country because so many people are running it now. And all it is that this is our left tackle. You'll see when we come out, this is why we wind up getting lined up. Okay, our receiver's on the line, the left tackle's out here, and he's ineligible because he's covered up. Okay, but he runs a bubble. All right, so he likes that because he gets caught there. Okay, and all we're doing is running verticals off of it, but this is the guy that we're trying to throw the ball to. We're trying to hide the tight end. Now, we kind of do it, we want to get to this formation, okay, or some semblance of it, so we do it in different ways. This one, I don't know if you can see it from the side. Yeah, okay. The side, you see we line up like this, now we burst out. Now this is our left tackle. There's our tight end. Okay, they're trying to ID, they're trying to ID the front. See what the hell's going on. Guys are running all over the place, snap the ball, nobody covers the tight end. Okay, yeah, look at the fat ass out here. Now what we're telling is this. We're telling them, go out there and cover your numbers. So they can't, you don't want to see a big 70s number out there, so just try to cover it up, even though you're a big fat ass. Maybe one of these dumb defensive guys won't figure out your alignment. So look at him here. Then he throws his hands up. Hey, throw it to me. Okay? So we run the tight end. We just hide the tight end play, okay? We have a name for it. We call it fight song. Because we say, if we call this play, get band better tune up the fight song. So we're fixing the score. Okay, it's a good red zone play. They lose the tight end. All right? See it again here. Now, this one we did out of a Wildcat set. We're lined up this little Wildcat quarterback. Okay? And, no, I'm sorry. We got to see the shift here. We get to the formation. It's just unbalanced, but watch how we shift to it. Here's our quarterback. There's our Wildcat quarterback. So we shift back. He uncovers the tight end. They go to a cover 2 set. Tight end's wide open. Okay? So it's just a way to, again, it's kind of how to steal points. Okay? Now, you want to have an option off of it. Okay? You'll see this one. They jump the tight end. Here's all we're telling the quarterback. First of all, from a protection standpoint, you go back and we say, look, make sure you're fundamentally sound in your protection. Don't put the ball at risk. All we're doing up front here is we're anticipating there being 4 rushers. okay? And now we're telling the linemen basically to go big on big. We got 4 blockers, they got 4 rushers. If they had an odd front and they only rush 3, then we wind up double teaming the nose guard. Okay, the quarterback is going to take the snap, is going to roll to his right. Our right tackle should be a little firmer than this on protection. He should be trying to almost like kind of half-ass reach the guy. Okay, not a full out sprint out reach, but just kind of half-ass reach him. That's not good what he's doing there. But here's what we do with it. If the tight end gets covered, we have a fade route up here. We feel like we're gonna have a one-on-one shot with our Z. Okay, so again, it's not just a single option deal. Okay, the quarterback's rolling to his right. He checks the tight end. The tight end is covered. They sniffed it out. Just throw the fade and give him a shot. Now they don't even cover him here. On this next one, you'll see where they do come. This is a big play in this game. We wound up coming back and had a chance to win this game at the end. But look at these guys here. They all know what's going on. The tight end, they cover him and we take the one-on-one. Okay, so you have an option out of it if they do come to the tight end. Now, some of the plays that we've run off of this also. Okay, this one we told, look, you're going to shift out there and let them ID the alignment. And then we want to throw the tunnel screen off of it. So it's just, again, being creative with the formation. Okay? So we just come out, they jump the tight end. They know what's coming. He's throwing his hand up saying, throw it to me. And then we're throwing a tunnel screen. We should, if he gets a block here, we got a better chance. Here's what Tony's talking about right here. You got the lineman coming out there. Look at that. That's illegal in 8 counties right there. Go low on a man like that. Okay, and then the last thing that we do off of it, off the same formation, is we run a quarterback draw. And this is a called draw. Again, we know that we let them ID the front. We give them a little extra time to ID the formation, and then we just run the quarterback draw off of it. So you have some options off of the play, okay? All right. This is called hide the small person. I had my GA. I didn't want it to be politically incorrect and call it a midget. So I didn't know if there's going to be a midget in the crowd. You know what I mean? So I didn't want it to be anybody take offense. So we called it hide the small person. All right. Now here's what you're doing. And if you go back and some of the things that I've talked about before with Tony's seminars about our fire alarm stuff, where we will quick huddle. We'll huddle up, we'll come out, and we'll burst out of a huddle, and we'll present with some kind of unbalanced formation, something along those lines. But this play is a play that we huddle up, we get in a tight huddle, and we take our smallest wide receiver, okay, and he is going to get in the huddle, he's going to crouch down in the huddle, and we take our biggest, fattest offensive lineman, and we put him at right guard. Okay, so it was our right tackle. He just moved to right guard in the huddle. And then when they break the huddle, it's real important how you break the huddle. The center turns like this, and then when they break, they all just kind of turn around and walk up to the line of scrimmage really tight. And that little bastard behind them is hops in behind. And they sit down there right next to that, that big ass. And then the quarterback, we're going to have some kind of action on the back end. You'll see we've run it a couple different ways. Maybe a speed option, maybe a speed sweep action, whatever. But on the snap, all that happens, the quarterback's going to take the ball and hand it to the midget. And then he'll reverse out and run some kind of action off the back. We want everybody in here to just kind of wedge it. And then when this guy sees that end go up the field, he comes out the back door. Okay? So this was after a play. We went into this game, and we had the ball about the -2 here. It's out to the 28. Okay, and we went into that game, we said, look, if we have just a big gainer and the ball's on the left hash, we're gonna run this play. Okay? So you'll see what happens. The cameraman gets a little bit fooled here, but you see the motion behind. We were in a huddle, and we burst out of huddle. You can't even see the dude right there now. Okay, now watch. There he is. So it's a hide and midget play. Okay, and we had this guy over here. He was yelling, "Hey, hurry up, snap it, hurry, 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 hurry," making a big scene. Okay, he was yelling stuff, and then he ran like a little speed option. The quarterback rolls out of there, and then the midget comes out with the ball. He went 71, he made a guy miss. All that, but you see him right here? He's sitting down in there, okay? And when he goes in the huddle that way, when you come out of the huddle, those big guys turn around. This number 70, that's at right tackle, is about 350 pounds. So he just kind of mills up behind him like that. Watch the quarterback exchange. He just drops the ball in there. And he's got to be patient. Now, we put a wide out here, which was dumb. We should have put a tight end there because he just gets run over. It almost looks like a schoolyard trick. When you're like in the third grade, you run out there and get on all fours behind the dude. Someone pushed him over. Okay, so now we ran it again against Tulane. Gave it a different look. This was our H-back, who's we wanted to use him as a decoy. Right? We should have just stood up and threw the ball to him. You know what I mean? We're using him as a decoy, okay? So we run the same play. There's a little midget. He waits. The end comes out. Bang. Okay? Now, yeah, look how big Steffi is. Okay? Now, what that led to, okay, we looked at that. And we said, look, nobody's covering Charles. This is number 9. Nobody's covering him. How can we throw a play-action pass off the hide the midget? Okay? So we lined up in it. There he is. Now, Central Florida, the year before, we ran, and here's the thing about this play that I like. The worst case scenario is you take a -1. That's the worst case scenario. Your guy gets tackled right there. You lose a yard. You see what I'm saying? So that play right there is low risk, high reward. Because there's very little risk in running this play. Okay, it's a great first down call. You have a big gainer. You get everybody in the huddle, whatever you want to call it. You know, we have a name for it. We just call it, we call it Woody. Okay, but you can call it, Dick. You can call it Jack off, whatever. You know what I mean? However you want to call it. But now here's what we did with it. We said, look, we need to have a play action pass off the hide the midget. So we just put in our weak side flood route concept off the hide the midget play. So they're all thinking that 2's got the ball. Of course, he gets clipped on the way out. He's our check down in the flat. And all we're doing is run the weak side flood off of the hide the midget. Okay? And if you watch, well, this is what happened before. The year before we played Central Florida, we lined up like this, and their D lineman that was on 70 was like pointing. He's in there! You can see him pointing. He's in there. So we just went to a full slide protection. We just went to a full slide protection, and then we ran the flood play off. All right, now, when we watched it again, we sat there and said, look, nobody, here's the other thing I always check. We call it who's got the oh shit guy, okay? And what the oh shit guy is anytime you have a naked or a play action pass or something like that, who's carrying the guy that you just play action to? So right here, we were watching film and we were saying, look, when we run this midget play, nobody ever worries about the running back anymore. So that right about here, now this guy did. I think we got skunked on this deal, but anyway, a lot of times when a guy comes out of the backfield on a throwback, right, we'll run a lot of throwback stuff, and you play fake to the running back, or you're checking your nakeds, and a guy comes running out of the backfield, and nobody's got him on the backside, the guy you're naked to. The defense doesn't even realize he's on the field until the quarterback wheels back and looks at him, and then the D coordinator, he screams, oh shit, and that's why we call it the oh shit guy. Because who's got the oh shit guy? So we said, who's going to have the oh shit guy on the Woody play? So we were going to throw a throwback to our tailback. He wound up getting covered, but he made a great play anyway and wound up scoring it. They reviewed it. It was a touchdown. He was actually, this game, our tailback became the only player in NCAA history, watch this catch. See, they went back and reviewed it. It was a touchdown. He was the only player in NCAA history to run for, catch, and throw a touchdown in the same bowl game. So you wind up throwing a halfback option pass in that bowl game for a touchdown too. Okay? Reverse pass. We run a lot of reverses. All right, and I've got all the reverses at the end of here, and hopefully I'll have time to go through them. But anytime if you have a run play, you should have a reverse off it. All right? We run the outside zone, we got to reverse off it. We run the sweep, we got to reverse off it. We run the power. Every one of our run plays, we got to reverse off it. Okay? And a reverse for us is not a trick play. That's part of our offense. Okay, that's just that we go into every game, we want to say, how can we call 2 to 4 reverses a game? And when do we want to call them? You know, what part of the field do we want to call them on? But one of the things we do off the reverse, so we're going to hand the ball to the tailback here. He pitches it back to our wideout. This looks like zone option, or zone read, I should say, with a bubble backside. So we run the zone. He pitches it back. The bubble guy becomes the wheel route. Okay? Now, what we did in this game was actually really dirty because I probably shouldn't, well, it's not a secret. This guy right here is actually our backup quarterback. He wears number 5. This guy's wearing number 28. He went out to pregame warm-ups with number 5 on. We went in the locker room, he put number 28 on because we knew we were going to run this play against BYU. We didn't want him out there at number 5, and everybody going, look, it's the quarterback. So we changed his jersey. That's a big-time dick move right there. See what I'm saying? So he's wearing number 28 for this play only. So all this is just a reverse pass. Now we try to pull the center out on the backside to protect the backside end. Quarterback's got anything off the edge on the protection. Okay? And again, the guy that's on the bubble, on the backside of the zone read, he becomes the wheel route. All right? All right. Now, we got double pass throwback. We run this out of different formations. This fits in with some of the screens I saw Tony talking about a little bit earlier. Okay? We run a screen where, just like everybody else does, we're run a little spot screen out here to who we call our 2-man, which would be your C receiver. Okay, so we run a little spot screen out to him, and then we run a throwback with the oh shit guy coming out of the backfield. Okay? Everybody runs this with a little play fake to their back. But right here, this just looks like a spot screen. We're just throwing spot screen out there. Now, what I'm telling the line is, you guys are blocking it like sprint out protection. Backside tackle, I need you to hinge back. You'll see on another one later on where he doesn't hinge on a double pass, and our quarterback winds up getting smoked. But this just becomes a throwback. See right about here? This is where Army's D coordinator said, oh shit. Now, if we had a better throw and catch, we'd have probably scored there. Okay? So that's just a throwback. Here it is out of a different formation. What's funny about this one is that this was actually the second time during this game where we ran this play. The first time we ran it, the freaking ball was not thrown backwards. You got to throw the ball backwards, right? So alignment-wise, we're going to tell him to line at the same depth as the quarterback, and then he's going to take a step back so that we get a backward pass, so we can ensure it's a backward pass. Well, the first time we called this play, the guy didn't line up right, and it wound up being a forward throw. He knew it was a forward throw, so he just ate the ball. Okay? And then we said, well, we got to try to come back to it, because we thought for sure they saw number 9 coming out of the backfield the first time we ran it. You know, he was wide open like this also, but he just caught the ball and ran forward because he knew it was a forward pass. Then we came back later on in the game and ran it again. But this is out of an unbalanced set. So we got our tight end backside, tackle over. We're running the tight end out of there to draw the coverage, and then wheel the back out of the backfield. Again, that's just based off of the fact that we run the spot screen. Okay, and we have a lot of success running the spot screen, so we want to have a throwback off of it. All right. This is the same concept, okay, as far as building something off of something that you do. This is out of a Wildcat alignment. What I mean by Wildcat is just to have a guy back there other than your quarterback, which kind of made me laugh when we first got to Tulsa. You know, Gus was big on the Wildcat stuff and all that. I used to say, we ran a Wildcat at West Virginia. It was called Pat White. You know what I mean? You have your quarterback, you're automatically Wildcat. Okay? And but this off of the Waffle Wildcat set. This is our quarterback, lines up out here. We're gonna speed motion, because we run speed sweeps and quarterback nakeds and stuff off the Wildcat set with the speed motion. So we'll run the speed motion to draw the attention, throw it to the quarterback, and we're throwing a deep post off of this. Now, one thing that's interesting on this, I want you to look at the down and distance situation. It's first down and 19. We had a holding penalty on first down. We had gained a yard, got knocked back. First down and 19. This is a play that we would go to. We go into every game and say, look, if the ball's on the left hash and it's first down and 20, or on the next one, it was actually second down and 25, and we said, well, what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose in those situations? Most of the time, you're gonna, if you complete it, you got a big play, and it's a huge turnaround, it's a great momentum deal. If you don't complete it, it's third down and 20, you gain 10 yards and punt the football. You know what I mean? So we go into it with the idea saying that if we complete it, it's going to be a huge play for us. And if not, there's no harm, no foul, just punt the ball and play defense. Okay? So on this, you see we line up, this is our little Wildcat quarterback, here's our quarterback. Now we'll line up in this formation with the quarterback out there, and we'll run speed sweep and some quarterback in there, you know, the Wildcat inside runs and stuff off of it. On this, we run the double pass. And all we're doing with this, we're running the speed sweep. These guys are kind of coming off half-assed, and then we want to burst and run a deep post. Try to draw the attention of the safeties on the speed sweep, get in behind. Okay? Second one here, this is a big play in the game. You know, we're second down to 25. There's a minute left in the first half. We're up 28-0. This is the one I was telling you about, where your fat ass tackle's got to hinge back. See, he doesn't hinge, he hinges back. He hinges back too late. Our quarterback winds up getting freaking smoked right here, but he does complete it for a touchdown. And what's great about that is there's a minute left to go in the half. And that, how demoralizing is that to go into the locker room on the other team and having that happen to you on second down and 25. Watch these guys right here. Shit, yeah. You gotta be kidding me. Look at these guys just like, what the piss? Are you kidding me? What time's the plane leave to go back here? You know what I mean? Okay? So that's just a double pass post. All right, now, I was talking about earlier, we run our fire alarm series. Okay, our fire alarm stuff where we huddle up, we get in the quick huddle, we come out in some kind of, let's say, unbalanced formation, a tight bunch formation. We run play action passes off of that. We run full zone runs, that sort of thing. This one, I just wanted to show you the play that we built the halfback option off of. Okay, this is an unbalanced set, and this, you know, we're covered up over here, so we're unbalanced. All it is a quick pitch into the boundary. It's a pin and pull concept. Okay, with these two guys are pinning. Our H-back is the puller. Okay, they're just trying to pin everybody in. The H-back's a puller, kick out support, and you know, run it in. That's that. So that's the play that we run. We come out of a huddle, we burst out of the huddle, we get lined up as quick as possible. You see we're tackle over. We got a tight end backside. Okay, now I would come back and look at this and say, why don't we have the throw back to the quarterback? Because watch, who's got the QB? That guy half-ass does it. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at film, as you're watching it, you go, okay, well, we're going to throw the halfback option pass on the front side, but let's not forget about the halfback option pass to the quarterback either. So now we come to this, same situation, down in the red zone. Now we're just going to go crack and run a flag route. Everybody else is blocking the play. So you say we're lined up, we go in the muddle huddle, we come out quick, this guy's not even sure where he's supposed to be lined up at, we run the deal, and then we got an easy one. He's going to go on the crack, the safety's running on support, that's simple. So those are ways that, and the presentation of the play has everything to do with it. Because we run that quick pitch play over and over and over again. This is like game 10 of that year. And we had probably run that play, 30 times. And we hadn't run the halfback option off of it until right here. And then we ran it again in the bowl game. And our guy threw a touchdown in the bowl game also. Okay, so it's just another, the presentation of it. All we're doing is he's going to go on his crack, and then he runs the flag in behind the safety. And here's what you tell, again, this is what's the worst case scenario that should happen on this play? Incomplete pass. Don't take a TFL. If they're covered, throw it in the stands. So it's low risk, high reward, okay? Low risk, high reward, we're protected, and we wind up getting a big play out of that. All right, now, if you look at the online stuff that I've talked about before with our gap game, one of the answers that we have when we run the power, is we run our power option, okay, where we bring this guy in orbit motion, and we fake the power. It's an answer play when the end is wrong arming your H-back, and then we run the power option. It's a great red zone play, okay? So we thought, why not have power option pass off it? So this guy just happens to be our Wildcat quarterback also. He was a high school quarterback, was player of the year in Arkansas, and so he's the guy that throws these for us. This one right here is not complete, but if it's 3rd down and 18, or 3rd down and 8, or whatever it is there, and we wind up getting a pass interference, 1st down. Okay, so all it is stop and go here, and we wind up getting the PI. Okay, now this was a play that we will run, and our landmark is if we get the ball somewhere between the 30 and the 20 on the right hash. We like this play, okay? So when we go into our game planning, those are the things that we're talking about. Where can we run our specials at? What field position do we have to have? Because on some of them, you need to have 50 yards. If you're going to throw a flea flicker, you can't run that from the 20, okay, or the 15. You need to have that yardage in order to get the play to work. So we script all this stuff and say, if we get in these situations, this is what we're going to call. We'll run the power option pass. This one was, again, right hash. You look at the field position. Ball's on the 33-yard line. That's right where we want it. What we tell our quarterback on this is get the ball out of your hands fast, okay, so that they see the pitch. They know we run the play. Then we run the power option. And then it's thrown over there. If he put the ball out in front of him, we'd have had an easy touchdown and got the ball on the 4. All right? That's a landmark play for us. We get down there on the right hash. You see, get the ball out quick. The protection is solid. It's not and again, what's the worst case scenario? We ran this against Memphis this year in the last game of the year, and they covered it. What's our guy do? Throw it in the stands. Throw it in the stands. We move on. We're not putting the ball at risk. We're not doing something stupid. We're being fundamentally sound with it and protecting the football. All right, this is a zone option pass. This is the play that we ran against Boise. They fumbled the punt. Okay, they fumbled the punt. We got the ball, I think it's on a 48-yard line or something like that, somewhere around there. But it was on the left hash, and we told our guys, if we get the ball on the left hash, the first time that we have a sudden change, this is the play we're running if we have the field position for it. All right? All we do on this, we bring the orbit motion from the backside. We're running inside, it looks like inside zone read option. Okay? We pull the center to help protect the edge, and we protect the edge also with our H-back. And then it's a crack and go. Okay? So you see, this is a big play in the game. It's our first touchdown. They turned the ball over. We had exactly where we wanted. The ball's on a 47-yard line. You see, we just had a big play, big turnover and all that. We come out. Ball's left hash, left middle. And this is a play we had worked all week. Crack and go. Again, worst case scenario there, what does the guy do? Throw it out of bounds. The other thing you got to remember on that is all these plays, our quarterback is out of the pocket. So, there's no ground rules. You don't have to get the ball. Just throw it out of bounds. You're out of the pocket. You're outside the tackle box. Throw it out of bounds. Get the ball. On all these little option passes, we tell the quarterback, get the ball out of your hands quick so that our guys got a chance to sell it and then make a good throw. Okay? Now, this is a little red zone play. It's a great two-point play. Great two-point play. Okay, again, we come out of the sugar huddle. We get that little tight huddle. We burst out, and it's a flood route to the field. So all we're doing is running the field. Everybody in America runs this concept, whether you call it pivot or snag or whatever you want to call it. It's just a flag, an out route with an inside snag route. Okay, and our first option is to throw the ball to the H-back. That's the first option. So as he comes out of there, the quarterback's on a sprint. If the H-back is open, give it to him. If not, then we're going to have a throwback screen to the tight end. So we're going to set off the backside. I tell the tackle and the guard on the backside, your timing is what we use is we say you're going to go hip, hinge, punch, release. I like to talk to them in terms of what they're actually doing. You know, some people say 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Who the fuck buckles a shoe on a football field? Your timing. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I've heard people say, I don't buckle my shoe. I go hip, I'm getting to that guy's hip, I'm hinging, I'm punching, I'm releasing. Hip, hinge, punch, release. Okay? All of our screen stuff that Tony was talking about, what was the terms you used earlier? Set, do you have a set punch release? Or, that's how we talk to our guys. If I'd say they're going to set, if I wanted to take 2 steps and cut a guy, I'd tell them you're going to go set, and cut. If it's 3 steps, if we have a longer screen, it's set, cut. So so it's in their mind. It's not 1,001, 1,000 cut. I don't have to do that stuff because that doesn't make any sense. I'm a former lineman. You got to speak simple terms to those guys. You know what I mean? So it's hip, hinge, punch, release on the backside. Again, if we have the front side route, we'll throw it. So as he comes out here, he's thinking, I'm throwing it to the flat. Now it's 3rd down, and look at the down and distance here. We're 3rd down and 6. So he's pushing this a little bit deeper, and our quarterback sees the corner sitting out there. So as he comes out, if our H-back would have pushed it flatter, he probably could have thrown it to him, but he would have got tackled short of the sticks. Okay? So he's trying to push it deeper. The corner's sitting there. Sell it, throw it back. Watch the backside. Hit, hinge, punch, release. Now go make a block in the open field. Okay, so that's just a little tight end throwback screen. It's a great 2-point play because you got options on it. Okay, you got options on it. On the front side, you got a quick option out on the front side, and you got the throwback screen. Again, this one right here, I'll tell you about this here in a minute, but we probably practiced that play. That was in the conference championship game, and we had practiced that play from about midway through camp, and that was the first time we ran it. And that was, 14 weeks later, we ran that play. But we practiced it every week as a landmark. We got the ball on the left hash. Here's the situation. Okay? So we practiced it over and over and over. I call this the greatest play in the history of football because we've only called it twice. Okay? And it's resulted in 2 touchdowns with the average gain being 65 yards. All right, so that's why, name me a better play. That's pretty good results. 2 touchdowns, 2 calls, 2 touchdowns, average 65 yards. Here's all it is, though, is come out in an ace formation, ace over, or double tight, whatever you want to call it, 12 personnel. We'll run the zone play out of this, okay? We run the reverse out of it. So we're just going to bring that guy in orbit motion. We're going to fake the zone. We're going to fake the reverse, and we're just taking a shot. Now, what we tell the quarterback on this, you're going to have great protection because we've got max protection here. So you're going to have a lot of time. Throw it where he can catch it or nobody catches it, okay? And all we're looking for on film is we're looking for active safeties. If those safeties sit back there and as soon as they see play action, they either, hear the terms, buzz your feet, set your feet, don't drop out there too quick. That's what defensive coaches tell them, buzz their feet. As soon as you see the safeties buzzing their feet and step forward on play action, then this is a good, we probably ought to run it more, obviously, since we've had some pretty good success with it. This is the first time we called it. It was against BYU 2 years ago. And this was it, right? This is the first play of the drive. This is P and 10. We came out, possession of 10, inside zone fake, reverse fake, let it fly. He catches it or no one catches it. He almost dropped it. Okay? You can see the protection. All we're doing is trying to sell the zone. Coming off selling the zone, and we're going to hinge on the backside. Soften up on the backside. You got great protection. It's a one-man route. He catches it or no one catches it. Okay? We come back this year. Same thing. We're playing Boise. We had just had a big completion. You can see this ball being thrown on the seam. You look at this situation. We're down 7. There's 10 minutes left to go in the game. Had a chance to win this at the end, or tie it at the end. But we had a big completion on 3rd down and 12. Got the ball out to the 45. And we said, okay, let's run it. run the same deal. This is the only 2 times we've called the play. That's why I say it's the greatest play in the history of the game. Both times, same result. So it's a good deal if you've got active safeties. Okay, that's not so as big of a trick play as, you know, some of this other fancy stuff, but it's just a good way to take a shot, a safe way to take a shot. And the other thing that we do with it is we try to take our fastest guy and we formation it where we put our fastest guy in the inside receiver position because we feel like we're going to get him safe, matched up on a safety. Once he clears the corner, see the safety set his feet, bang, right there. I'm in the press box, right there. I said, okay, it's got a chance. We got a chance here because the safety came down. The corner's in a bad spot. Okay? All right, this is a big time, like, dick play right here. All right? Now, what you do is, you see there's not even a defense drawn up there. Okay? This is for teams that you have to run this to your sideline. Okay? And you practice it. You go out there, and here's how we do it. The ball's on about the 35-yard line or so, where we can stay in the coaching box during a timeout. And you know, the ball's inside the box, in other words, during a timeout. So we may even call timeout to set the play up. And then we just walk out there and we tell the officials beforehand that we're going to run it. Before the game, we say, look, there's a good chance we may run this play. If we say we're going to run it, this is what we're doing, just so you know. So we go out there, and all the coaches are out there in the huddle, and we got some other players out there. And then when the official blows the whistle to start the play clock, because the timeout's over with, everybody that's not involved in the play gets off the field, and everybody else just stays out here. The quarterback jogs over nonchalantly to the ball. The ball's on the hash to our sideline. Okay? He just jogs over nonchalantly to the ball. He's got to have his hand on the ball for a count. So he just reaches down, he goes 1,001, and flips it over to the running back. Okay, and then we try to block the edge. All right? He's got 2 times we ran this. You see, they're milling around. Look at that guy. Look at these guys. They're like, what in the hell's going on? And we just try to throw it out there. Now, you might do that on 3rd down or 2. If you got balls. If you're the head coach, it's easy to call. If you're the offensive coordinator and you got to answer the head coach, you might go, I don't know. But see, this one right here, we came out of it's 1st and 10. We just had a big game. I think there was a TV timeout or something, or maybe an injury timeout. We just told them, look, we're going to run it. Flip it out there to them. And it just becomes a kickoff return. You see it? It's kind of hard even, the film guy got fooled. The quarterback just nonchalantly jogs out there, picks the ball up, and flips it out there to him. And here's what you got to tell you. You have to have a coach. Let me take this back here for a second. When you're standing in the huddle, you assign one of your coaches. Okay? Come here for me. Give me about 5 guys up here. Come here. Watch. You guys are all the linemen. Okay? Turn around and stand this way. We're all talking this way. You take a knee. You got a water bottle. Take a knee. Now, I'm the coach. Okay? I'm on the sideline. You guys are going to wind up this way. I come up and I spot my foot right where the ball is. And I stand there like I'm coaching my ass off. And you guys line up. Okay? And then when the official comes over, and we say, okay, we're going to run it. And then we break out of the huddle. All that happens is you guys snap up, turn around. I go off the field, stand up in a line just like that. And then the quarterback jogs over and snaps the ball over here. That's all it is. See what I'm saying? And then it's go. Okay? So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of a dick move. But that's where the defensive coordinator of their team goes, are you serious? What kind of shit is this? We're trying to play football here. You know what I mean? That's why they all get pissed off to do that. Okay? All right, our quick kick. Our quick kick deal has been real good for us. All right, I just put a couple of quarterback kicks on here. All we're doing on this, we line up in a tight formation. If they don't have a guy back, we're going to kick it. Pretty simple, okay? This one winds up real good. This one's on the highlight film. You run down and boom, great play. They got the ball. You know, we flip the field on them. Now they start on a -2. Okay? Same thing here. Just going to clip through this. Now, you come out, And you line up in the same look. It's 4th down and 8. It's 4th down and 8. Look where the ball is. We ain't going to punt the ball from the 30. Okay? So we line up in a little quick kick formation. Look at our quarterback. Boom. Throw the comeback. Run it at the sticks. They don't have a guy back either. That's just back. That corner's being a lazy ass is what it is. He's just out there taking the play off. It's 4th down and 8. So he thinks that he got the play off. So the quarterback steps up like he's going to throw it. He's going to punt it. And then throw the comeback. Okay? And we hit a few of these. 4th and 9. Ball's on the 36. Same deal. We're going to check to this one. All right? We check to the quick kick formation. We go through this. This is a procedure thing. Okay? We're out there. We know that we're gonna slide back in. We might punt the ball from here. Okay? But if they're soft, if they're giving us soft coverage out there on the edge, like right there, he's stepping up and now he's checking the protection because he's saying, well, I'm going to throw this. Throw the comeback. Okay, right at the stick. Same thing on this one. Now, this is where it's 4th down at 21. Ball's on the 33. Okay? We're down 7 in the 4th quarter. I mean, this is a big play. We go to quick kick. Look at this guy right here. Look, hey, quick kick, quick kick, quick kick. Okay, dick face. How's this? How's this taste? Throw the fade this time for a touchdown on 4th and 21 from the 33 on a quick kick formation. Now watch this. Here's look at this guy. Are you shitting me? I love watching that stuff. Like these guys all on the sideline. Look at these guys going berserk. Hey, it's quick kick. Get back. Get back. Feel the punt. What? What is going on? Oh, shit. No. I just like that stuff. It's other people's misery. You know what I mean? You take pleasure in it. All right? Fake field goals. Okay? Go into every game. I'm in charge of the field goal unit. Okay? I go into every game. I'm going to break down the rush and find out if they're like an overload rush, for instance. If a team's got an overload to the field, ball's on the hash, here's the field. They overload the field. If they've got 7 guys to one side, then they're susceptible to fakes on the other side. Okay? We went into our bowl game in 2007. Look at the situation. We had this first drive, 0-0, 4th down and 4. Ball's on the right hash. We told them all going into bowl preparation. Now we had 6 weeks to prepare for the game. So the whole time we're watching film saying, look, if we get this situation, we are running this fake. Okay? They got 7 guys right here. Right? Run the shovel pass to the wing. All we do on the front side, on the opposite side, is I'm going to pull a guard, okay, to try to be a lead guy. He's the cleanup guy. Everybody else is trying to block man. Get a hat on a hat. And wrap it around. 4th down and 4, gain 6 yards, wind up scoring a touchdown. You see, you wind up now these are all, this is the things you got to, here's what I would tell you about field goal fakes. I'm looking for stuff that's 100%. In other words, if the ball's being kicked from the hash, are they 100% field rush? If they're 100% field rush, then they're susceptible over here. Okay? So we look at those type of things. So here you look at this. Look how many guys are to the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They got 4 guys over here defending. They're in trouble. They're hat down. Okay, and so on this, all we're doing is blocking back. We're blocking down at the point, trying to take advantage of those angles, pull the guard. He wraps to clean up. Block the wing on the guy that's got him man-to-man, and pitch it on the shovel. All right? Here's another one. This one's not complete. We ran this when I was at Clemson for a touchdown against Virginia Tech. I've seen this run several times on, I think Miami. Remember, I don't know if you remember the Miami-Virginia Tech game where the kid dropped the one in the end zone, fake field goal? Do you remember that? I think it was the guy, Kevin Everett, that broke his neck, playing in the NFL? Yes. I think it was him when he was playing at Virginia Tech, right? Did he play Virginia Tech or Miami?
Played for Miami.
Played for Miami. They were playing Virginia Tech, and he was this guy. And he was wide ass open and dropped it in the end zone. I just remember that. But this is when we go to a hash, okay? we will sometimes on our protection run tackle over. Okay? This is actually drawn up wrong. My GA, I'm at the fire test now. They're supposed to be in, this guy is supposed to be over here. That's, you know what you call that right there? That's measure twice, cut once. Okay? That's what he's going to hear when I get back. Hey, measure twice, cut once. You drew my chart up wrong. It's an unbalanced set. Okay, look at it from the back. We got 4 guys over here. I got 3 guys or 4 guys over here, but 3 of them are eligibles. Okay? Now, what we do is we tell this guy to line up as square as he can to the line of scrimmage so he looks like a tight end. Now, let's look at it from the top. Look at the situation. It's 4th down and 15. Okay, ball's on the 30 on the left hash. Our field goal kicker, there ain't no way in hell he's making this kick. Okay, that's a 48-yarder, 47-yarder. He ain't making it. Okay, he didn't have the leg. So we just told him, if we get this situation, we're running this fake. It's just a rollout and a flood route. The thing that dicks with people is that there's the 2 eligibles they're seeing, the tight end and the wing. Nobody counts for the 3rd guy, particularly in their field goal protection, their field goal coverage, I should say. Look how wide open his ass is. Now we wind up getting a pass interference, and we wind up converting that to a touchdown. Okay? But like I said, when I was at Clemson, I wish I had the clip. Here's what I'd tell you too. When you're watching your film, I saw that, where's the DSV guy at? Is he in here? There was a DSV guy in here earlier. What's nice about DSV is I got a folder that I keep underneath my name, okay, in our DSV deal, and I just call it barnyard cuts. Okay, because that's what Brad Scott called it when I was at Clemson. He had a tape, he had a videotape, and every year he would save any trick play that he saw ran during the year by whoever. If we're getting ready to play, if they ran a trick play, he saved it, and then he put it on a tape, and he kept this collection of trick plays. Okay, so I do the same thing in my folder. I have a folder in there. So if I see a trick play being run, it might be a fake punt, fake field goal, a throwback on a kickoff return, reverse pass, whatever. If there's some kind of trick play, I clip it and I throw it into that folder, and I keep those in there. So it's a library that you can refer back to, so that when you're trying to install something, you have film to show your kids. So I have one of these from like 1989 South Carolina versus Kentucky or something. And it was a flood route. It was actually, it was South Carolina. I think it was South Carolina and East Carolina. South Carolina and East Carolina. It was the same damn thing. But that guy is always wide open. Now we didn't convert it, but we did get the penalty and got the first down, and he converted it to a touchdown. Okay, here's the last one on the fake field goals. This one is, you see this? All this is when they're rushing from the field and they have no contained guy to the field. Okay, watch this. Look at this alignment. This was kind of being a dick because we're up 35-3, but it was one of those deals where I wanted to run it because now it's on film, and everybody else that watches your film, they don't rush your field goals quite as much anymore because they know you'll run a fake. So we wanted to get it snapped. Look, they're bringing all these guys from the field, and they've got no contained guy. That's the only guy that's on the second level. So we did watch this little exchange on the back end here between the holder and kicker. Whoop. Just pitch it over here. We call that the over-the-shoulder boulder holder there. And all we're doing, we're just trying to seal it and get. And what I tell the kicker in that situation is, you better know where the sticks are, and you get to the sticks. And if you get past the sticks, if you score a touchdown, that's great. But if you get the first down, anything you get past the sticks is bonus. So know where the sticks are. And they got all these guys rushing. They got nobody on contained. Pitch it over the shoulder. All right. How am I doing on time, Tony?
Great. You've got actually about 50 minutes if you can.
How many?
50.
Oh, beautiful. All right. I got a bunch of reverses I want to go through. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Like I was saying before, okay, every one of our run plays, we want to have a reverse built into it. Because a reverse play for us is not necessarily a trick play. Okay, but it's just ways to slow defense down. Now, here's what I would tell you on your reverses. All right, we have kind of key concepts on all of our reverses that we're going to get blocked. We have key concepts that we want to live by. The first thing is our X receiver is going to crack the first safety in the box. Okay? We're going to get a good crack block there. We want to have a tackle or a guard, okay, is going to be out on the center, and then somebody securing the backside edge, whether it be the quarterback, post handoff, whether it be the running back, like in this situation here, where we're running split zone option. We're running a split zone option look, and the running back is securing the backside edge. His responsibility is when in doubt, block the end. If the end is chasing, you can climb to the near backer. But when in doubt, you secure the edge. Okay? So this is just a zone option reverse. This first clip is about as clean as you'll see it. Okay, you see the lead back, going back, watch the end, chase. Okay, now he climbs to the next level. If the end is up the field, which you'll see a couple clips here later, he's going to secure the end. The tackle is going 3 and down. 1, 2, 3. Now I want him out flat. I want him running right at the yard marker. Okay, and then he can adjust up to the corner. Because you can never adjust back down. You know, I heard Tony talking earlier about the tackle coming out nice and flat. And the reason is, if that corner triggers, and your fat ass is running at the corner at a high angle, if he came out at this angle and the corner triggered, there's no way he can get back down and make that block. But he can always adjust up. Okay, we're going to crack the first safety in the box. It's not a real vicious crack, but it gets the job done. Okay, we get the kick out on the corner, and the backside end is secure. All right, now spacing on our reverses. What we want to have on our spacing is, what are your guys' hashes like now? You guys have the wider hashes, or are they college now, or they're wide still? You got to look at your spacing, okay? And here's the reason I tell you. We tell our guy, if the ball is on the hash, we want him to be a yard off the hash, the reverse guy. We want him to be a yard inside the hash, because that's enough space where we can get some good flow going, okay? And the reverse doesn't happen too quick. Because sometimes your reverses happen too quick, the defense never has a chance to react to the initial flow, okay? But it's also not so far out that that it gets too cloudy for him to make the exchange, okay? On this play also, the thing, I'll show you one here in a minute, but real critical, the front side tackle. The critical coaching point on the front side tackle is his number one thought is, I've got to protect against any edge pressure on this reverse. Okay, so if I get any type of blitz off the front side edge, I've got to protect the blitz. So if anybody walks up, the tackle's going to make an out call, and we're going to slide out. The front side guards should slide out to block the 5 technique. If there is no front side pressure, the next thing he's thinking is, I don't want to give up any penetration. Okay, so I'm trying to flatten everything out, because the exchange is going to take place right behind him. Okay, those are critical points. All right, now, you'll see on this one, I picked this up from Oregon, just watching their film. Okay, and this is what after watching enough of the film, I thought they're doing something different on the backside. And here's what, and I don't know if you guys are doing this or not, but this is a real good thought. My biggest concern on reverses when there was a 3 technique sitting backside is that if my tackle is the in and out guy, what do you tell the guard? The guard's got a B gap player. You try to tell the tackle, slam the 3 technique, pass the guard, and all that stuff. Well, what I saw Oregon was doing, and we started doing, was that if there was a 3 technique backside, if the 3 technique was to the reverse, that the tackle and the guard would make a switch call, and now the guard is the guy that's in and out. So you watch this right here. Now the tackle is the left tackle should come down. They're running a field blitz, so the 3 technique's angling back, so it makes it a little bit tough on them. But you'd like the tackle to come down and pin the 3 technique in, and then get the guard out on the corner. That way you're not trying to fool the 3 technique. You see what I'm saying? You're not worried about getting up that penetration. Now you can see on this, our guy comes back, the end is sitting there. He says, I can't leave him. When in doubt, block the end. Okay? The guards should never do this. Never go back. That guy, none of these guys are going to make the tackle. Go up here. Okay? So you see, we got a 3 technique over here. They made a call. If the 3 technique just stayed in the B gap, the tackle should wash him, and the guard should be 1 step and out. Now on this one, see what happened on the front side? They're bringing field blitz. So the right tackle does a good job of recognizing that and making the out call to get out to the pressure. Because if he doesn't go out and block that, that guy's going to blow us up right at the exchange point. Again, trying to protect ourselves, make sure we're not putting the ball in jeopardy. A couple more clips of this deal here. This has been probably our most productive reverse. How many guys run zone option? If you run this split zone option stuff, it's a great reverse on it. Here's what you got to do though. If you notice this is what's kind of screwy about this reverse, okay? The line is actually going opposite of the zone fade. If you look at it. See, the inside zone right here is going to the left, right? The line's going to the right, okay? So the line goes opposite the inside zone fade. And then you bring the option around the back side, and again, pitch it to the receiver. You see the ball's on the hash, we want him a yard off. If that ball was 3 yards inside here, if we want to run this reverse, then he should be 2 yards outside the hash. He adjusts out his split based on the ball, so that the spacing is always the same. Because I think the spacing for the flow of the play is critical. This pissed me off too. Like Tony was saying, you got a big guy out in space. Here's my tackle coming out. I want him to make that block, okay? But get your feet underneath you. Look at his feet. See his feet are all crossed up? Ah, piss, what happened here? Oh, my thing went up. Okay? His feet get all crossed up because he doesn't get his base, okay? But here's what I tell him. Don't go out there and make that corner, have that corner make you look like an idiot. At minimum, dive and throw at him. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can cut downfield or not, or what your rules are for that. I want my tackle to go out there and try to carve his ass up, drop him in the grease. I don't want him to look like an idiot like that. All right, let's see here. A couple more of these. I'll tell you what I can do, Tony, is I'll get this cut up to you. So if you want to post the whole deal, you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, you had more clips, so that I'm not going through every single one. Okay. You know what I mean, with these guys. But here's another way to present it. This is not a spread. So now we're gonna arc motion that guy. He goes to the pitch. It's the same play. It's just a different presentation of the play. All right. This one, if you look at it, you can't hardly see the situation here, but it's 3rd down and 6. Okay? 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 5. This is the opening drive of the game. We had this play scripted. If you go back and again look at the game plan stuff that we did over the summer, you know, we try to script out our first 9 plays. Okay? This play was on script, and Gus and I were on the headsets, and it's 3rd down and 5, and the scripted play was to run the reverse. You know, and he said, hey, you think we ought to run it? I said, what are you thinking? The clock's running. Go, fuck it, let's go. We run the reverse. We got a field blitz. Our right guard is wrong here. He's got to pass that off to the center. The tackle makes an out call. We'll watch the end result. Just stay with your script. Now, if they got tackled for a 5-yard loss, we look like dumbasses. Okay? All right, now, next reverse. Off the power. Okay? And we like to run this with our power with that orbit motion because that fits into our play actions and all that stuff. So if we see where on the back side they're not honoring the orbit motion off the back side, then we'll run the power, we'll run the reverse off the power. And all this is the quarterback's going to play fake inside. He'll wheel back out, he's handing the ball back around behind him on the orbit motion. Up front, we're blocking power, okay? This is kind of a poor drawing because it shows the center pulling. That's not his technique. What's the center doing on the power? He's blocking back. Okay? So all the center does is he tries to block back and go through that nose guard to work himself out to the corner. Okay? It's not a pull as it looks like on that drawing. Watch the center here. He just blocks back and then works his way through to get out on the corner. All right? So that's our power reverse there. Now we present this a couple of different ways too. This is the same one here. This one I'll show you. The center goes back, the end does not squeeze it off. Like we thought the end was going to chase it. So the center winds up saying, okay, well, it kind of falls into one of our rules up front, is that you never pass one to go to one. Okay, that's a rule I tell the offensive linemen, that whether if you're on a screen or on a reverse, never pass a defender to go block another defender. And the center here is responsible to go block the corner. Right? He's the guy that's going to trap the corner. We're going to crack the safety, and he's responsible to trap the corner. But as it goes out there, that end is sitting there. Don't pass one to go to one. Okay, and our guy makes a great run off of it. You see the blocking scheme looks just like power. Right there, it looks just like power. And then we just hand off on a reverse. Don't pass one to go to one. All right, this one was a fire alarm play. We went quick huddle, came out, lined up, put the quarterback under center. This was a red zone landmark for us. We said if we get the ball on the left hash, down inside the 10-yard line, it's a quick hitting reverse, so we didn't think they'd be able to react to it. Just a quick hitter. Again, we ran that off a fire alarm. All that we're doing there is just changing the presentation of the play by going under center. Nothing else changes. This one was off of a wildcat look. Okay, we run wildcat. This is one of our quarterbacks, our backup quarterback, coming in motion. So we ran the wildcat. We made it look like we're running quarterback power, and we just hand the reverse off. Okay, so it's the same play. The nice thing about it is up front, the linemen are doing the same thing, whether it's out of wildcat, whether it's out of under center, or whether it's out of our shotgun look. Okay? Outside zone reverse. This is off of our stretch play. I like this one because you can run this one back to the field. We don't have a lot of reverses that go back to the field. So this one we like to run back to the field. We learn to stretch into the boundary, which is one of our number one run plays, and then pitch the reverse back to the field. On this one, again, we should be double cracking here. Okay? We should be double cracking. He should be working that guy. He should actually base it, and he should be cracking him. If that guy was apex, he'd be cracking the corner, or the tackle would be on the corner. But he should be blocking his cover down. We should be cracking there. All right, the quarterback secures the backside edge and run the reverse back to the field. Okay, so every one of our run plays would like to have a reverse off of it. This one, I think we run this this one goes back into the boundary, but it's out of a tray set, out of a pro trip set. Again, quarterback secures the backside edge. We're going to crack the first and safety in the box, tackles out on the corner. So that principle holds true no matter what reverse we have. We have somebody to secure the edge. Here the quarterback does a great job on a blitz, securing the edge. He should be going to him. This should be a double crack. He should be going to that safety. He ought to be cracking the first guy inside of him, and the tackle ought to be on the corner. See, we come out here, the receivers kind of muck my tackle up. They should be there, and the tackle should be on that, and it would be clean. All right? Speed option reverse. This is if you run the speed option out of any type of spread formation, you can get to this. Okay? We ran this against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl for a big touchdown when I was at West Virginia in the first quarter. Ran the same reverse. All we're doing on this, it looks just like the zone option reverse, but now our H-back is on the backside. He's the edge secure guy. Okay? He and the quarterback are he's going to make sure that he's taking quarterback's responsibility securing the backside edge. So when in doubt, block the end. He's going to crack. That guy's all the way over there. He just keeps on going. Trained pig. Okay, tackles out on the corner. All right? And then the last one is we run, this is probably our number one run play as far as yards per, how we call it, or yards per carry, yards per game, whatever you want to call that. And it's our hand sweep, okay? And all we're doing, this looks just like if it was a zone or a full zone reverse, okay, outside zone reverse. Our quarterback's going to be the edge secure guy. Tackles 1 and out, okay? We're blocking back with the center. We want him to kind of block back and influence that nose guard back across his face. We want to pull both guards to give it a full flow, just like we do on our buck sweep. This one we're going to short motion our slot receiver to start the reverse off. Handled by this one of our top run plays with him. This guy was, you know, he led the country in all-purpose yards last year. It's one of our top run plays with him. And then he pitches reverse. See, the flow you get when you pull the guards, that's when you get that full flow action. And just finding ways to get that thing blocked where we always have, again, the key is on the backside. Is having somebody to secure the edge. You got the quarterback to secure the edge. We'll crack the first guy in the box that tackles in and out on the corner. Crack the first safety. Tackles in and out on the corner. Okay? Here it is again. Same deal. Going the other way. This time, because of the front, we didn't pull both guards, because if we were running the hand sweep here, we wouldn't pull the front side guard on the hand sweep. So I can't tell the tackle to block down on that one technique. So that guy, he made an I'm in call, so we only pulled the backside guy. But it gives us the flow we need. Those are just plays to keep people honest when you got those fast flow defenses. All right. That's all I got, Tony. Good to go? Perfect. All right. Appreciate you guys having me.